Let's see. I've got a pre-spawn rod, spawn rod, post-spawn rod, and another post-spawn rod in case the first post-spawn rod isn't post-spawny enough. I don't even know what spawn we're in anymore. Severe weather, crazy transitions, and fish in every stage of the spawn. This weekend is about to get interesting. Guys, welcome back to Bass Prediction Center, where we're tracking weather, seasonal patterns, and tournament trends to help you catch more and bigger fish. Let's go. All right, guys, starting off as always with our map. We're reviewing it from earlier in the week. This ice line, like I said, just hanging out here close to the Canadian border. Northern Minnesota, northern North Dakota, and northern Maine. You guys are hanging on to some ice, hanging on to winter. Hopefully be thawing out. We do have a warm trend coming up in the next 3 weeks. So hopefully be thawing out soon for you guys, and you can start doing some fishing up here on the Red Lakes and things like that. Winter areas getting thinner and thinner. We're going to be all pre-spawn across the country before long. These guys up in the north, it goes from winter to spawn in a matter of weeks. So you guys will be spawning before you know it. Pre-spawn zones right now, a great time to catch a giant. They are all the way up north into northern Pennsylvania, northern Nebraska, all the way into the northwest. Time to get out there and catch your personal best. Spawn zones, Lake Hartwell Bassmaster Elite right now is sitting right in the middle of a spawn zone. These guys are sight fishing like crazy. We'll cover that in just a minute. Oklahoma, Arkansas, you guys have been flooded out, but you are in a spawn zone right now. I don't know if that's slowing down your fishing. It probably is. Probably pushing the spawn back a little bit because those fish will wait until that water recedes. And then parts of California and all through the southwest are looking at spawn, post-spawn, all across the south, Florida, Texas, California, you name it. You guys are sitting right in a post-spawn zone. Good time to catch those fish right after they head off the beds and start getting into offshore structure. All right, guys, as you know, we are shooting for 500 subscribers here on the channel. We are at 408, only 92 to go. And we are doing a giveaway from Beyond Braid when we get to that 500 subscriber mark. So right now, click subscribe, click the bell, even leave a comment, and we will do that drawing for everybody that subscribed once we started the Bass Prediction Center back in February. So it's a chance to win a Beyond Braid tackle box and some Beyond Braid line. Check out my other videos. I do have some tournament breakdowns, and more of those will be coming. We're going to be doing one Sunday that has to do with the Bassmaster Classic. So check out the channel. It's going to be getting better and better every week. All right, guys, tournament spotlight. Right now, the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Hartwell is going on. Drew Cook is leading this thing, and that's not a surprise as he's a big sight fisherman. He's got 38.5 or 38 pounds, 5 ounces right now. 2 good days, 18 pounds one day, 19 pounds the next. Really nice. Bunch of names in here you'd expect. Randy Howell, Paul Marks. The cool thing about this tournament is it's not a blowout, so anybody could win this thing. Drew Cook's sitting there with 38 pounds. The cut line's only 25 pounds, so only 13 pounds between first and 50th place. A lot of fish being caught. Super fun if you guys have been watching on live. A lot of fish being caught. Really exciting tournament. Looking for one of these guys. Paul Marks is a local. He could win this thing easily. So check it out, bassmaster.com. All right, starting off our weather with our SBC outlooks here. This is for Friday tonight. And we do have an enhanced risk here in the panhandle of Texas. A good chance for tornadoes. 10% risk there if you're in the Amarillo area or just south of there. Winds also a good risk, and hail. So if you're in these areas, be very safe. Definitely check out your local weather station to see what's going on. If you're planning on fishing this weekend, Saturday's going to be your best bet. As you can see, there's not a huge risk for severe. These light green areas, there is a risk for some thunderstorms in all these areas, but not highly severe by any means. Marginal risk here in the panhandle, again, of Texas. The system we have sitting on top of us right now, you're going to kind of see the same thing for the next few weeks. Lots of storms throughout the northern Great Plains and southern plains. So keep your eyes to the weather, but Saturday's a good day to get out and fish. All right, looking at Sunday here. I've been looking at the weather closely here. There is a slight risk here in Nebraska. And if the storms fire in this area, they're going to be supercells. There's going to be a good chance for tornadoes in this area. Central Nebraska, south central South Dakota. There is a huge cap in place, which is prohibiting some storms here. But you could see storms anywhere in here depending on how the heating of the day goes, the cloud cover. So if you're anywhere from North Dakota all the way down to the Mexican border here in Texas, you're going to want to be watching out for severe storms on Sunday. Let's check out Monday. I do want to mention Monday here because there is a big-time risk here in Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, eastern Kansas, northern Missouri, and this is an all threats risk: winds, hail, and definitely some tornadoes. Could be even a tornado outbreak this day, depending on how things go. We'll know more as the beginning of the week approaches. So if you're planning on fishing Monday in these areas, you might want to change your plans, especially towards the evening, because it is going to be a bad day out there, most likely. About a 50% chance of some very strong tornadoes happening this day. So just be safe out there. All right, looking at our weather map here. This is our reflectivity. That's the chance of what might happen here. So as you can see there on Saturday, Friday night tonight, the storms are going to fire up there in the Panhandle and move into Oklahoma. They'll be mostly severe when they're in the Panhandle of Texas. And by the time they move into Oklahoma, they should calm down a bit and not be so risky. But if you're fishing this evening, be very careful in these areas. And then Saturday evening, those kind of just move through these storms. They're not going to be as severe as they were, but bringing lots of rain and definitely some wind and possible hail here. The rest of the country, the Northeast, you're kind of in a nice bubble here. You should be safe from any rain. Northwest, you're going to see some rain showers, but nothing too terrible. Shouldn't keep you from fishing. And then on Sunday, this map is not really showing anything firing up because, like I said, there is a cap in place. If it does, it's going to be late Sunday night here into central Nebraska, southern South Dakota. You're going to see some storms here in Idaho and Montana, but these won't be severe. Right along the Texas border, you might see a little bit of something here. Be watching out. Rest of the country should be a pretty good day to fish on Saturday, though. Warm weather, pre-spawn bite should be really good, moving baits, all that kind of good stuff. And then on Monday, this is where it could get hairy. We're looking at, afternoon here. Storms could fire up. You're going to have rain and thunderstorms back here all throughout the northern plains, Montana, Wyoming. But Iowa, you're kind of in the bullseye here of what to watch out for. So Monday, if you're planning on fishing, just be really careful out there. Let's look at temperature. All right, your Friday highs are looking pretty good here. 60s and 70s all the way across this part of the country here. The south is looking at upper 80s, even 90s in parts of Florida and Texas. The west, you're looking at 60s and 70s, really nice weather for Friday. If you're able to avoid the storms, should be a really nice day to get out and fish. On Saturday, kind of more of the same. We do have a little bit of cool air push down here with those storms. You're in the 50s and 60s all throughout the northern plains. The east, southeast, 70s and 80s, very nice. And then California, 70s again, really nice weather. And then the northwest, also 70s. On Sunday, kind of a warm up here into the western part near the Rockies. You're looking at 70s, almost 80 degrees. And then the northeast, that cool air moves to the east. But still not bad weather to be fishing. Saturday, like I said, is one of the best days to fish out there. Or that was Sunday, my bad. But so watch out for the storms on Sunday. And then Monday, big warm-up starts. That's what's bringing these storms here. You're 80 degrees up into Nebraska, even into South Dakota. The west kind of sitting the same, 60s and 70s. The south, you're getting hot, pushing that post-spawn bite even harder than it was. And then the northeast, 60s up into Maine and going to melt that ice line finally. All right, looking at our wind gust map here. Kind of breezy here through the plains as that front approaches. And this is going to get a little bit stronger as we go through the day on Saturday. As this trough ejects over the Rockies, it's definitely going to pick up the wind. So on Saturday, as you can see, the winds are pretty bad here in the northern Great Plains, parts of Texas. In the northeast, there's some gusty winds in areas, so just watch out if you're out there, especially if you're on a boat. And then on Sunday, 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts all through the Great Plains and southern plains. The northeast, you're looking at 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts also behind that front. And then on Monday, this is winds intensify, and that's what's going to be bringing these chance for good tornadoes here in Iowa. Up to 45 mile an hour gusts up here. So, like I said, be very careful if you're in Iowa on Monday. It's going to be dangerous out there. Guys, this is our weekly standard temperature anomaly for the next few weeks. As you can see, warmer than average every single week going forward. Little cold blast into Texas, but that's still going to be pretty warm because your average right now is pretty high. The rest of the country, warm. Every week as we go for the next 3 to 4 weeks is warmer than average throughout the whole country. So if you guys are looking to get out and fish, now's the time. Things are going to be kicking up big time, especially as you go towards the north. Florida and Texas, you're probably going to be pushing more into that post-spawn funk. Might be a little tough.
Welcome to the new segment, Tip of the Week with Dr. Bass, me. Today we are talking about the post-spawn. When bass are in the post-spawn, they get something called recreational fatigue. And they don't want to eat baits that look like real fish. Things you could try. A Carolina rig. You have your weight and your hook. Bait options are going to be things like an old dirty sock, your car keys. Perfect. If you lose them, no big deal. Something we have right here is what I'm going to be using in my next tournament. That should work perfectly. This has been Dr. Bass with the tip of the week.
All right, thank you, Dr. Bass. And now it's time for the actual baits of the week, brought to you by Beyond Braid. Go to beyondbraid.com and you use code BPC10 at checkout to receive 10% off any order. Guys, we are going to review what we had earlier in the week, and as you can see in winter areas, we're going to the 6th Sense Divine football Ned with the Z-Man TRD Bugz. If you guys glue this head on to this bait, you can fish all day long without an issue. This bait's never coming off. You know how that Z-Man Elastic plastic is. It's awesome. Pre-spawn areas, looking at a 6th Sense Quake Lipless. This is one of the best pre-spawn baits I've ever seen, especially around grass. Get it out in some channels with grass in them, rip it out. You're going to trigger some explosive bites. This gold reactor color is kind of a secret color in northern Texas. Use it in places where a lot of people are fishing red, and you're going to get some bites. Spawn areas, we're looking at this Riot tungsten fidget head. This is my favorite Shakey head. I don't like the screw lock ones because it affects your hookup ratio, but the regular EWG ones are great. Use this with a NetBait T-Mac worm. The best shaky head worm on the market, in my opinion, has that bait fuel mix in. Really good bait. All around spawn areas and post-spawn areas. You can pick up spawners, post-spawners, pre-spawners, everything with this thing. And then in your post-spawn areas, your hard bottoms, in the post-spawn areas, your hard bottoms with shell beds, things like that, shad spawn. You can't beat a C-rig with a bubble fry on it, guys. This is made by SmashTech. It's got holes all throughout it. It's going to release bubbles as it goes down. Put it on a 3/4 ounce C-rig. Cast it all around those hard spots. You're going to catch every fish in the lake with this thing. So those are the real baits of the week, brought to you by Beyond Braid. Use code BPC10 at checkout and get 10% off any item there at beyondbraid.com. Guys, this weekend is going to be unpredictable, so that means more opportunity for you as a fisherman. If you are fishing through the weather windows, make sure you focus on heading to the flats and deeper recovery points where those females are going to be hanging out, especially in those spawn and post-spawn areas. Let me know in the comments where you're fishing, what you're throwing, and if you figured out anything else, and if you even know what spawn stage you're in, because we're having trouble figuring it out up here. And hey, don't forget to sub to the channel. We're trying to hit that 500 subscriber mark. Enter that giveaway. Stay tuned for some more Dr. Bass nonsense. We'll see y'all out there on the water. Tight lines and stay safe, y'all.